Imagine this, you're in class 10th once again and you have prepared all the year for your board examination. Finally the big day is here, you're sitting in the examination hall and the paper is given to you. At that point you feel the pressure, at that point you feel that okay, the 1 year that which I've studied is going to be helpful to me right now. You see the clock hit 10 and the bells ring and the paper is finally started. You don't know where the time has gone, you just keep writing and writing and writing and writing, and finally when you see the clock once again it's 12. You do not even know where that time has gone, but you know that you're working towards one goal, that is to finish the paper on time. You keep writing, you keep finishing the questions with all your heart, with all your mind, without a single distraction, and just like that, once you look at the clock you see, okay, it's 1, the paper is finished, you know you have done well, and finally the paper is taken from you. Where did those 3 hours go? These 3 hours felt like 3 minutes. And now remember the biostatistics lecture which you were attending just in the morning. Remember how each minute felt like an hour. So why is your perception of time changing when you're doing something which requires cognitive thinking, which requires so much intelligence and so much time management? Why is the perception of time so different when you're doing something which is not that important, which is something which you're not enjoying? And how is that altering your brain's capability of focusing? And in today's video I'm going to be deep diving exactly into that. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Anuj Pachhel. I'm an intern at GMC Nagpur and welcome to my channel. Alright, have you ever wondered that the things that require the hardest cognitive abilities of our mind are the ones which are actually the most rewarding in our entire lives? For example, studying for 2 years to crack one competitive examination. It's going to be super difficult. It's going to require every single tiny brain cell of yours to work and to read and to memorize. But finally the reward will be that you will have cleared that. Maybe it might be NEET or JEE or UPSC or whatever. Similarly, editing a video is hard or making a video is hard. But if you do it, it will change the world and it will change your life as well. And a few years ago, I was reading this book called as Deep Work by this author called as Cal Newport. He's an MIT professor, and this book completely changed my perspective on looking at things which were cognitively demanding and very valuable to our lives. And today I want to share some points from this book which will change your life completely, and some points of my personal experience of doing deep work along the course of the last 4 years. So let's start. What exactly is deep work? Deep work is something that requires mental willpower and cognitive focusing. Work that is cognitively demanding, which requires you to pay 100% full attention towards just one goal without any distractions, is called as deep work. Some examples are if you're preparing for an examination, or if you're writing an exam, just like I gave the example at the start of the video, or you're editing a video that you have to put out on Sunday. All of these things require cognitive effort and they must be done. In contrary to deep work, there is something called as superficial work. Now deep work and superficial work both are really important individually as well as together. Superficial work would be something like writing your journal. I know it's a waste of time, but you still have to do it. You don't require any cognition for that. You just have to be a printer to copy and paste the information from here to there. But you still have to do it, because if you don't write your journals, you won't be allowed to give your practicals and theory examinations. So it is still very valuable in your life, but it is the deep work which actually makes you level up in your game of life. So it is the deep work which will help you crack an examination. It is the deep work which will help you build a business. It is the deep work which will help you do something great. So the next question comes, how do we figure out how much deep work should we do and how much superficial work should we do? Well, it's completely up to you and the goal that you are chasing. For study, for me, it is around 1.5 hours of studying every day, irrespective of what I'm doing. Maybe I'm in the OPD, maybe I'm in the ward, maybe I'm in the OT, but I need to study every day. That is my goal and that has always been my goal. So it is this 1 hour which will be adding the most value to my life. So let me tell you how you can stepwise figure out what is the amount of time you should spend doing deep work and doing superficial work. Step 1 is to sit down and start doing deep work in the first place and measure how much progress you have made. Again, deep work is something which should be cognitively demanding. It should have 100% attention towards your goal and without any distractions. So sit down, set up an environment which facilitates all of these 3 conditions, and see in 1 hour how many chapters are you able to complete, how many modules are you able to complete. Once you know this, once you know what 1 hour of deep work in your life for one particular task means, you exactly know how much of it you need to do in order to achieve a particular goal. For example, I would say if you're studying for NEET UG, at least 2 hours of deep work every day for, let's say, just 1 year will make you crack the examination. It will make you get a government college seat without any fail. Now that you understand you need 2 hours of deep study every day, you will mark your calendar with that time period and you will block that time period. Let's say that time is from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. You will mark that and you will block it in your calendar. And the way to get around this thing of being too hard is by telling yourself, this is an investment that I'm doing in my future. 2 hours today won't feel that much, but if you're doing it for 365 days, those 700 or 900 hours which you're doing will really change change the game, and you will have achieved something which you thought was actually impossible in the beginning. Now let's come to the most amazing part, that is how to actually do deep work. But before we go ahead, if you are somebody who is targeting NEET UG 2024 and you are in a drop year for this exam, I would highly suggest you to start giving tests and evaluate how your preparation is going with your scores. Are they improving, declining, or have they plateaued? For this and to get a real life NEET-like experience, I would recommend you Sankalp Bharat's Offline Test Series, which will provide you with 22 offline and 3 online tests based on NCERT following the current NTA pattern. The offline tests will be delivered at your home, where you can simulate in real time and fix your block that this is the exact NEET examination. Out of these 22, 10 will be full syllabus tests exactly mimicking NEET UG examination. And you can also plan your own studies based on the schedule of these tests like we do for NEET PG. These test series are now just available at rupees 1332, but using my code Anuj, you can get these tests at just 999 rupees. And trust me, these 1000 rupees will be one of the best investments that you can do for your NEET UG preparation. I've put the link in the description, you can go check it out. Coming back to how do we actually do deep work, it requires no distractions, no excuses, no judgments, and no thoughts other than achieving your own goal. Step 1, which you have already done, is you have blocked the time. You have blocked, okay, this is the 8 to 10 p.m. where I have to just keep on studying or video editing or working on my business. So you have turned your entire life around to focus on one thing only. Step 2 is making your environment as distraction free as possible. I'll tell you a very famous story you might have heard about J.K. Rowling when she was trying to finish one of her Harry Potter books. She was not able to do it at home because there were kids and there were so many things outside going on. So she could not focus, she could not enter the flow state, she could not enter the deep work phase. So what she did was she booked a very luxurious hotel suite where she used to just go once and sit down and just write and write and write. And finally, after just one day of writing there, she found out that she can be so much productive when the environment is not distractive. And this novel went on to sold millions of copies. Some of us will really relate to this, is that when we are writing a script or when we are working on a PowerPoint presentation, when we open an internet browser to do it, oftentimes along with Google Docs or Google Slides, we will also have our Gmail account open. We'll also have YouTube opened, and we'll also have Spotify or YouTube music playing in the background. Some people have Twitter in the background, some people have something else. But for everyone, one thing is constant, is that along with their work tab, they have some tabs which are absolutely distraction to them. So close these tabs which you are feeling are useless. What I personally do is that I make a separate window, and that separate window is for work, and the other window, which is on another desktop, is for time pass and all of that. Another example would be if you're sitting down to study, and in that study table, which is very aesthetic, very nicely organized, you also have your phone. Now your phone will keep sending you notifications and you will keep wasting your time. So it is not deep work, it will become very shallow work, which will not give you that much satisfaction at the end. And step 3 is to know that in these 2 hours, let's say 8 to 10 p.m, set a timer, be it a physical one or a mental one, in which you have told, I will not leave this seat, I will not do anything except work for my goal. And that is when you will enter the flow state that Carl Newport termed deep work. I'll tell you, there were times during my final year of MBBS where I had an examination, but I also had to upload a video, but I also had to shoot an advertisement, and I also had to do something else related to my business. I did all of that because I blocked my time, I removed distractions from my environment, and I've sat down and focused on one goal at one time and ticked them off from my checklist. Which brings the last question of this video, is that why is deep work actually important? Look around you. Every moment that you get of freedom, every moment that you get to relax your brain for even just 1 second, we are immediately doing something which is very short term, which will give us instant validation. It's a way of distracting your mind instead of resting it. Even when we are working, we are constantly distracted by notifications. Now the corporate and the capitalistic economies around the world have built devices which will keep you hooked on them for hours and hours. And with every successful person that I've talked to, from people who have cleared USMLE to people who have topped NEET PG to my own seniors and to expert doctors, I always see that most of their notifications are off, be it from WhatsApp or Instagram or from Snapchat or any other platform. They don't get notifications because they choose where they're going to invest their time rather than being controlled by giant corporations who are just waiting for your eyes to stick on the screen. Because many of the apps that you think are free are not free, because the thing that they are selling is you. So you are the product, and they are using your information and your data to earn money. I'll directly admit it myself that even sometimes I find myself wandering around doing the same things which I am talking so negatively about in this video, because in the end I am also human, and all of these things which are set up are made for the human mind, which is feeling sometimes a little bored. But I surely have phases in between where I know that I am going on the wrong path, and I realize it and I correct it and enter the deep work phase once again. I remember distinctly in second year when I wanted to build Axon version 2, I separated 1 month of my life. I did not do anything apart from just sit down on my desk, work for the application and record a lot of videos. And most importantly, if you're an adult watching this, if you're able to free yourself from distractions, and if you're able to achieve that deep workflow state, you will realize that you become the most important asset in this distracted world which is present. You become the one which is demanded by almost every big company. You will be the one who will be given the most offers, and you will be the one who makes the most progress in your life. I really hope that this video added some value to your life. If it did, please make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe, because making such videos takes up so much time, effort and energy, and subscribing in just 2 seconds would make up for all of that. And also check out Sankalp Bharat using the link in the description. It's your boy Dr. Anuj. Stay happy, stay healthy and stay consistent. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.